Power Talk Show, and I am your host, Cheryl Blessing. This evening, we're talking about the impact of broken homes on society. And I'm joined here by Serita Momo and Clinton Goezi, who are giving me some amazing insights on some of the effects. You know, sometimes we don't even think about some effects that may come up, but we are really realizing the environment that we're brought up in, the families that we see, the people who bring us up, they really influence us a lot. And especially when you're a child and a teenager, those are some of the things we've established. And meanwhile, as we continue with this conversation, go to our platforms at Y254 and let us know how you feel about broken homes and the impact it has had on society. From either your friends' experiences, your personal experiences, or even some of the things that you've been observing on social media. Go to our platforms at Y254 and let us know. We're going to sample your comments before the show ends. Now, before we took a break, I directed a question at Serita, and we were just talking about the fact that our parents really teach us a lot. And there's some things that we learn from our moms, some things we learn from our dads. And when you don't have one parent, you really have to catch up and learn some things on your own. Like, there's that saying, the Kiswahili saying of, asiyefunzwa na mamake, hufunzwa na ulimwengu. And I used to think, hizo ni story tu za jaba. In Kiswahili, what do you mean ulimwengu? Like, what's going on here? But as an adult, I'm really understanding that. You can learn through experiences, through your friends. And sometimes it's as bad as you going through a situation where you've dated someone who's maybe horrible or something, and then you learn, okay, so that's something I'm not supposed to do. Serita, you've grown up as a confident lady, and I know especially right now in the digital era, there's so many identities that you're supposed to be like this,
walk like this, talk like this.
You know, talk like this, talk like that. And unfortunately, when you grow up either missing one thing, sometimes we feel the need to appease society by conforming to what society thinks we should act like and we should behave. But you said no, me know myself. How was that? Did you have to learn some things, or are you still learning some things by yourself? And what's that been like?
I think one of the most important things I experienced as a kid was knowing God, and that's something that my mom really, powered. Like, you have to go to church, you have to read your word, you have to, pray and do this. And when it comes to now all this other stuff, you find that deep within it doesn't settle right with you. You could just tell like, nah, even in the midst of all those, looking for, love, looking for always my dad, those things that you knew, nah, this doesn't sit right with me. This is not something my mom has brought me up to do. This is not something the word speaks to me about, This is not something God will find right, And I think one thing I've learned is, even before going out to look for someone to date, even before being approached by a guy, are you ready to, compliment that person instead of filling a gap in his life or filling a gap in that lady's life? Are you ready to, have you filled yourself? Have you found fulfillment in yourself first before looking for it in other people? Because when it gets to that point where they don't fulfill your life again, hapo sando unapata the breakups, the divorce, the all that, because you are looking for something in them that isn't in you. And once you didn't find it, you go again looking for it. But I think the most important thing is finding it in you before finding it in other people. And I think I'm still learning. There's a lot to learn. Of course, I'm not at 100%. I'm still learning, experiencing all that, experiencing life one day at a time. But I think the most important thing, even on learning about love, learning about, healing those wounds, and you've said something about conforming. Oh my God. Biblical kidogo. The Bible says, do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And that is where it all starts. Like, okay, yes, they did all this, but it's now up to me to move past that. I should not make it my character. I should not make it part of me. I'll treat this person wrong because my dad treated me wrong. I'll treat, because that happened. It's up to you to now get up and be like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not worth it. I have to let go now. It's time to let go. It's time to let myself heal, And
I love that, because that also goes back to what Clinton was talking about, being an individual. Because when you're an individual, you're whole within yourself. You've fulfilled everything within yourself. And you're not necessarily looking for it in your dad, your mom, your partner, or someone else, or even your friends. Because you've fulfilled everything.
Yeah.
You've been, I don't know, you're whole,
full,
you're
yeah,
complete,
yeah.
you know. Because sometimes people talk about, you know, I want to find my better half. Why you a half?
Why you a half?
And if you're a half, why are you not trying to become like a full thing?
Right?
You know? And I love that you've also said that the Bible verse. That's something that recently, it's been speaking to me. Because kuna times when you're feeling, hey, seta mimi ni compromise. Because mimi hapa mimi niko I'm the person who's doing right all along. And the Lord will call you out. Because if you have a personal relationship with God, He really makes you feel like you don't even need all that, because you know God is our parent. He's the dad, he's the mom. So once you've gotten to that point of understanding, this physical parent that I have is just a representation of God on earth. So let me go to the Father directly and just talk to him. You get those answers that sometimes you didn't really understand growing up. And I think I had so many questions growing up. And once I had a real relationship with God, because my mom brought me up in the church na kwa Bible, but mimi nikafika pahali nikaanza kusema, hey, mna overdo. Let me explore for myself. Let me see for myself what's going on out here. And then I got back to the Spirit, and I found God in my own experience. And I feel like that made me feel whole and complete. And that was also when I was a teenager. Because I think when I was 17 to 19 hapo ndio I think nilikuwa nasumbua. Hapo ndio I think the rebellion was showing because of the trauma.
True.
We get a lot of that. Especially like you're saying with Clinton, you working with teenagers, you said with the talent management. Managing teenagers, it has got to be one of the hardest things. Parents complain about teenagers all along, like every single time. When you come together with the young boys and girls, do you have these conversations about maybe what's going on at home and how can we even work on that so that you do not carry those wounds? Do you have like sort of therapy sessions with the teenagers?
Beyond this talent, being a dancer, being a model, being, you know, can sing or do that, it narrows down to who is this person? Who are you? When we ask who are you, it doesn't mean like you have to tell me your name, your age, no. Who are you is not answered in that. Who are you is answered by the fact that there is something that has brought you to be the way you are. So there is life extra to be lived, like there is something extra that this person is already before you meet him at that talent level, right? So that's something you must be very sensitive with, because at the end of the day, if you're going to train this talent, and at the end of the day, he is not or she is not well equipped, there's nothing you are gaining or impacting that talent. So those are the discussions we normally have with. At the end of the day, we must find a pure person to really train or manage. Because if you don't find that one from this person, this means like we never had management at the end of the day. Because I have to help you manage your system before you manage your talent. If you don't manage your system, managing your talent might not be easy for you. By various factors, maybe basing so much on family issues or where you came from, the background, the dreams even are something that also have to be considered. What are the dreams a teen has set? It's something needed to be considered. Like there are teens with some dreams you're like, hey, this is the reason why it's messing you now, or this is the reason why you're doing great now. So those are the discussions we normally have. We find out now the individual, that person. Now we nurture now the external talent. Moving to the next or fullest potential.
I love that. I love the way you've even put it, because you can't nurture your talent if internally you're not okay. You're going to be focused on, and I think I've watched movies where people are dancers, but then because of the family conflict, they get into their head during the competitions and when they're just performing, and it affects the performances. It affects schoolwork. You know, sometimes you wonder, why are you performing poorly at school? But I'm probably thinking about mom and dad fighting 3 months ago, you know, and that's what I think about in class. And unfortunately, the school system has not really nurtured the health, the mental health aspect. We haven't really focused on that, especially in the past few years. I don't know if they're doing it now. I'm not so sure. What wa CBC ndo watatuambia.
We have that one. We have high school experience. We have Vibia Campo. Now we try to, we understand like the life they're living is not the life, you know, the way you understand life, not a grade 3 kid, you know, and all that. So we are trying. and we call much, maybe more individuals, so, you know.
To be part of that.
Yeah.
I love, and even just more awareness
Yeah.
to the issue.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes it can even transform who you are completely.
Yeah.
Maybe you were a naturally happy child who was just cheerful, extroverted, unapiganga tu story.
Yeah.
But because of things that are happening at home, you become reserved, you're quiet, you don't talk as much. So it can even change our personas. But we've been trying to understand that you have to know yourself, you have to be full within yourself. But now we still have the wounds, because hizo wounds ziko ndani yetu. You know, sometimes your mom has done something, your dad has done something. And though you were saying, I love the way you put it, hauna mtu wa kusema mom kwa, you know, hauna mtu wa kusnitch mom on, because I was also feeling the same. I was like, sometimes I just want to tell my dad, mama amefanya hivi, you know, like, si umuongeleshe, but hauna. So I used to go to my grandma. I'd go to my shosho or my aunts. Then I'd just be like, you know, mama amenifanya hivi. And my shosho will be like my dad. I actually say my shosho was my dad, because she would rally behind me. My shosho was like, don't beat that child. Always. And you know, sometimes we go through those phases and we really do not understand why was he not present? Why was he not there? Have you gotten to a point where you've gotten some healing, some closure about why he wasn't there? Have you gotten to a point of even understanding why the relationship why they separated at the end of it?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I went through a very bad heartbreak, a bad one. You know, my mom was calling this guy, my son, you know, it was that serious. You know, to call like, for life, man. And then it went down, but it sank down. And now my mom sat me down and, you know, I've never told you this, and she explained, and I was like, yeah. Because I don't think I ever got to understand why, and I always asked like, why are men like this? And if she hadn't told me that, I would be like, kumbe men are like this, kumbe all men are like this, you know. But she sat me down, she said, no, don't let it, you know, ruin your life, your perspective on men. Don't let it hurt you. Don't let it do all that. Just look beyond it. There is more out there for you. And I was like, okay.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
know.
Yeah.
And I love that because, you know, sometimes it's just something as simple as just give me the answer. Just clarify, because the questions hurt more, you know, because you keep having questions and then you answer yourself in your mind. Then you have all these different perspectives and you're like, okay, maybe he even left because he doesn't want me, you know.
True,
and that happens a lot. And I also got to a point where right now I understand that my mom is also just a girl. She's just a girl. She's just doing life for the first time, you know. She's also doing her best. And, you know, we expect so much from parents because when in Zazi,
like you're big,
they expected you should have everything put, you know, they used to think adults have everything figured out. What do you mean you should have everything figured out? So when I got to the point of seeing that adults make mistakes, I was like,
how is that possible?
Get your life together.
What's going on? But now as an adult, ule anko, unonanga anko uko like, hey, ata unachomanga sana, me. And then you become an adult and you realize life is not black and white. There's a lot going on. Like, they tried their best. The fact that they are sane, they really tried their best. And it takes time. Because when you're a child, when you're a teenager, you don't really understand. You're not trying to understand anyone else but yourself. You become an adult and then you think, there are people externally from me. They're also individuals. Let me try and learn their characters and their personalities. So, Clinton, as you grew up, you were very fortunate. At least your mom and dad were there. But then did you get to a point where, of course, they've both left, unfortunately. Now, wako pamoja. We thank God for that. But did you ever get to a point where, because dad left sooner and you were still growing up and there were some things that you're missing. And then maybe mom was making some mistakes and you're like, dad angekuwa hapa. You know, because maybe you're a child, you think dad will have been the hero and he left so early. Were you, ulifika yo point yenye maybe ulikuwa nasumbua mamako alafu uka realize, by the way, I'm sorry, let me give her the grace, you've done your best.
Particularly for me, I grew up when I was still young. I stayed with my dad for quite a period of time. Because my mom was kind of far for work issues, and then I grew up with my dad. So now dad is not there. Everything is wrong. Every single human being doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, because we have had a vibration with this masculinity or my dad. So
Yeah.
I consider everything that frequency. So for mom even to tell me eat, it was, you know, this is an issue. This is not how my dad used to tell me to eat. So it was tricky and kind of hard, but at the end of the day, by growth, that's the only thing we have. We have time. So by the doing of time, we get to a point to realize like, what was not there at that very, very moment, it was true. You have to accept it was true. And then what is there this moment is there the truth.
Yeah.
And this doesn't mean like the previous one was false. Right? So you have to stay in this present moment. This is who you are. These are the factors surrounding your life. As a kid, you know, these are the situations and environment. So you have to learn how to be with those.
The fact.
Yeah. Because that's what you have met along the way. Because we can never predict life, even the next 1 minute. We don't know anything. All of us. And life is 2025 years right now. So we are just a small particle in life. So whoever the person it is, be it your dad, your great-granddad, or whoever, is just a small portion in life.
Yeah.
So you cannot come and say, justify, my dad was wrong, or my mom was wrong. No. He was doing how you are doing right now. And things that go our way are very small. There are not many. Things that go our way, not many. So we have to learn like, this is what's going my way, it's fine. If this system is the only thing going your way, it's still fine. But if now you're attached to what extra is not going my way, you know, I've not ironed my clothes, you know, I don't have a vehicle, you know, I don't have that, now it troubles life.
And it's true. I like that you've said that because, you know, unfortunately, sometimes we're wired to focus on the negative, what we don't have, instead of what we have. And it's so funny because I also feel like growing up, I used to feel like, oh yeah, dada yuko. I used to feel so unfortunate because of not having my dad around. And I used to maybe even victimize myself. But I got to a point I realized I was so lucky. Like at least I had my mom there and I had a roof over my head and I had a family of my mom's sisters and brothers. And they made me feel like I was okay, because now as an adult, I look back and I look at people who were probably even, they grew up in a family setting where mom and dad were present, more fortunate than me, and they've ended up in worse situations. And I'm not even saying it's because I'm blessed or anything. Ni Mungu, unajua, it's just the grace of God. So I have to look at, I'm grateful for what I have and what can I do instead of focusing on, I don't have this, I don't have that, I wish I had this, you know, that doesn't help. It's already not present, it's okay. What can we do with what we have currently moving forward? And now, as we're almost about to wind up the conversation, we have a large number of people who do not believe in marriage right now. People don't believe in long-term relationships. They feel like it should be situationships. Let's have fun. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. You know, there are all those theories being tossed around. And people are not really dating to marry. Even if it's at marriage, people are doing like come we stay. You know, let's have a child together. You'll be my baby mama, my baby daddy. We have a lot of that going on. Do you feel like because of the context that you were brought up in, right now you're against marriage? Or do you feel like you still believe in marriage and you want that for yourself?
I'm a big supporter of marriage. Go marriages.
Period.
Go marriages. Because I don't think there's a reason why you shouldn't let yourself have that just because your mom didn't have it or just because maybe your grandmother didn't have it. You shouldn't make your past a dwelling place. It should just be a place of reference. Oh, she didn't have this, then I should strive to get that for myself, to make myself happy, to give myself the best. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you. One day someone said, no one is coming to save you. Well, Jesus already saved you, so please
save yourself.
Save
Not
yourself.
carry your cross. He even said it in the Bible. He was like,
pick it up, girl. You know? So like you don't have to make that your reality because it's someone else's reality. Because someone else got broken by a guy, that doesn't mean you'll go through the same thing, you know? So go marriages,
I love that because we like to transfer trauma. That's what I feel like
Yeah,
sometimes.
true.
Oh my God, my idol was cheated on.
So even you
men are going to cheat. You know, it doesn't. That's just one person.
Yeah.
There's a population of like how many billions of people in the world.
Right.
So the statistic of 1 or even 5%, even if it's 95%, as you said, it shouldn't influence who we are and what we want to be. We should just be authentic. Like I want marriage for myself, so I'm going to work towards marriage, and I'm going to find someone who also is working towards the same. Instead of just saying marriages don't work, all these situations don't work. So Clinton, there's an aspect of us having to strive to become better and having to save ourselves. We have to heal our own traumas sometimes. Do you feel like there's enough that's being done in society currently in regards with healing the traumas of the families that we've come from?
First of all, the trauma, we are the one accommodating it. It is not staying somewhere that we wake up in the morning, we go pick, and then we leave it. No.
It's within
It's
us.
with us. So if we can sort that aspect first, if we can come to our fullest potential as individuals, minus all the extensions we can have in life, marriage, education, profession, career, all those extensions, minus that. If you can come to individualism like, this is who I am, and that's, or this is what I need, it can help us to make the decision. Marriage is the hardest institution because it says when you get into it, it's until death. So when you are ready to go into marriage, make sure you're like, God, everything is okay with you.
Yeah.
She screams at you, he does this to you, like, because the moment in marriage it feels like I'm giving more than what I'm receiving, even if it means attention, there's a problem. And it can grow from just a small aspect like that, moving forward. And by the fact we have memory and imagination, that still even ruins it more. Right? Because I'll pick 2, 3 stuffs you did to me yesterday, I'll amplify them, and I'll do something to you, and you'll keep them, and you'll imagine how to do better towards me, and the cycle continues. By the time we are breaking up, we broke up.
True.
So if you must enter into a relationship, I'm not saying like you must be patient when things are not going, you must be logic as well, but make sure you are a God. Because every single morning in a marriage relationship, somebody's telling you something. You must come with supper. And he knows you don't have anything. You must, there is that. And a small sentence or comment like that can affect the whole cosmos of a relationship or marriage. Just small. Because here we're dealing with the sensitivity of love, heart, emotions. Intelligence kind of distance.
To make her emotions. Because, oh my God, my man told me this. He hates me, and we carry a lot of that, unfortunately.
We go that way. And it gets to a point whereby somebody's house has caught fire. That's how marriage are, like the advice in the modern society. When somebody's house catches fire, do you also pour your house water too? Naijawaka moto? No. So this is what's happening. Somebody will tell you, my house is, so unachukua tena unaenda. They experience.
Yeah.
How they did to arrive to that stage, it's about them.
Yeah.
How you can do to arrive to your stage, it's about you.
Yes.
You have to create your experience, not by, you can listen, you can hear, you can gather information, the opinions is fine. But at the end of the day, you must create something just directly in line of how you need it and when do you need it and with who do you need it.
Yeah. I love that. I really love that because it's really individual. Sometimes we like to shift blame. That's what I see it as. Because when you're a child, yes, it's okay. You can say my parents did this, they did this. But the minute you become an adult, you have to take accountability and say they may have done this and that's okay. That was on them. That was their journey. So what are the lessons I've learned from their journey? You pick that up and then you start your own journey. You don't continue their journey because that's like you're transferring karma. Yeah. Umechukua sasa wacha niishi maisha ya mom. Wacha niishi maisha ya dad. That was their life. That was their journey. You have your own, and it's upon you to make up your own decisions and say, this is what I'm going to do in my life. So I really love that, because, you know, unfortunately, kwanza watu wenye wamekuja from either broken homes or the dad did something, the mom did something, we shift blame a lot. We're like, our parents did it, my mom did this, my dad, my I'm like this because you know, and every time, you know, I'm just like this because I was traumatized, and you're a 30-year-old man. Like, wow. Wow. You know, so it gets to a point where we have to take accountability and say, it's fine, they did this, but this is my life. I'm going to take charge of my own life and make my own decisions so that I do better, especially if you don't want to repeat the same mistakes. I feel like we've come across the quote of also, experience is the best teacher. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be your experience. More times, it has to be someone else's experience. Learn from them and be like, okay, so they did this, maybe I should do better. The way you're saying, me sometimes I look at, I love my dad. He's an amazing, amazing dad. But right now as an adult, I feel like my mom and dad were better as friends than partners. And that's something that they also acknowledge. And I feel like I'm grateful that they learned mapema. Because otherwise, maybe ningekuwa traumatized much deeper. Like, maybe the trauma would have been worse, you know. But there was also that awareness of the two of them that I really loved. So the minute I became an adult and I understood, they were aware and they realized, okay, this might not work, but because we've already started something, we have a child, we're going to move on. It's fine. We'll figure it out as we go along. And sometimes that's how life is. It's not perfect. So what's our parting shot this evening? Because we have a lot of concepts of, you know, umesikia ati children from sijui broken homes, sijui watu wa single mom wanakwanga vichwa ngumu, feminists, sijui nini, they're all these toxic ideologies. So please give us your parting shot for this evening, for this conversation. Someone who's probably come from a broken family and they're trying to find love, they're trying to find that, and they come across all these concepts, but they're still trying to figure themselves out. What would you say to them?
I'll just say what I said again. Just find yourself. Learn yourself, learn your journey. This is what I want, this is what I don't want. This is what they went through, this is what I will not go through. And you now start working towards what you want. Start working towards becoming better. And another thing, God. Every single day, have a personal relationship with God. Because the Bible says that God is love. And unless you experience that love, you won't know what to experience when it comes to matters love, you know? So that's just all. That's it.
Love that. It ni wewe, uanze tu na wewe. And then I love that you've also said have a relationship with God. Because unfortunately we're living in such dark times, the things that are happening. Come on, a support system, Miss I'd love to know how you're handling life. You know? Give us your parting shot, tafadhali Clinton. Tell us, because we have men who've probably come from homes that either they didn't see how their dad acted right or something, and they're trying to navigate their relationships. They want to become better fathers, better husbands, but they don't know exactly how to do that. What's your advice to them?
You don't know everything. And since you don't know everything regarding maybe to marriage or the relationships, it means you don't conclude. Create your experience, try to see like how you can experience things in your own way. So conclusions has brought more endings than how endings have brought those endings. So the moment you conclude, I feel like that's the time like you're not ready to create your own experience in that life. Regardless of how maybe the story was or the validation can be or justifying can be, if you conclude, it means that's the end of it. Like you can't go any further in that dimension. So if you try and you conclude, it means like you're trying with maybe a conclusion of the same. So you can't do anything further. So most people are trying to start when they have concluded already. Like people can go in marriage knowing marriage is hard. It brings that experience to you. So the moment you conclude, you have stopped experiencing it.
Yes. I love that. I really love that. That's amazing because it goes again back to your mindset, the individual. Because everything starts from us. And I really love that. That's a perfect takeaway. That's the perfect ending for the conversation. Because as much as we may have the places that we've come from, the families, yes, they have an influence on us. Yes, we share DNA, we share experiences, but ultimately, our life is our own. Jani yangu ni yangu. You know, I can't be the same with her at all. You know, as much as maybe we've come from both parents where it was just a single mom, it's never going to be the same. It's always going to be different, and we decide what we want for ourselves. If I decide I'm going to find love, I'm going to find a husband who absolutely adores me, that's what I'm going to attract. Because also God says, ask and you shall receive. So let us stop transferring traumas. Like, yes, there are people who've done so much bad things. That's something that we cannot deny. But there are also so many people who've done good. So let's also look for the stories that people are successful and they've had good relationships and the families are working, instead of seeking the negativity. Because sometimes when you're constantly looking for people who are cheating, broken families, separated homes, that's what you're going to find. It's all in the individual, you know, regardless of what your parents have done for you, they've done their best. They did what they could. Even if hawakukua wazuri, they did what they could. Thank them, move on, pick up your own cross. You know, take accountability. It's your life. What do you want for your life? That is my parting shot for this evening, because I feel like this is a conversation that so many people have their own opinions on, but it's always, it goes back to the individuals in the relationships. Choose your relationships wisely. Choose the people that you're dating wisely, because partners pia ni muhimu. Don't just choose a boyfriend and he's not a good husband or a good father, you know. So there's also that. And it's been lovely having this conversation with you. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. I'm so sorry that I've not gotten time to read your comments today, but we're going to have a repeat of this conversation tomorrow between 1 and 2 p.m. So check it out then. It's also going to go up on YouTube, so you can find this and more conversations there. I'll see you next Thursday. We are live every single Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. So come back next week. We're going to have another amazing conversation for you. Have a lovely evening. I was your host, Cheryl Blessing.